everybody? Welcome to episode 107 of Not Cool in High School podcast. Tonight our big topic anyway is going to be the original Willy Wonka film from 71. We're super excited to get to talk to you guys about that. So first, let's announce our guest. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Mario. I'm from Welcome Back Podcast, a proud member of the Iwep network, and this is in like my top 5, if not my top favorite movie of all time. So I'm happy to be here and have this conversation with you guys.
Strike that, reverse it.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw quotes in all movie. That's all that's going to happen. Yes.
Movie? Yeah.
Mario is part of the IWP network, and it's in the pod. If you listen to his podcast on Welcome Back, that's their little EA Sports. It's in the game. They do that. IWEP network. It's in the pod. That's awesome. Yeah, we're very, very proud to have them. They're one of my favorite podcasts. And when I reached out a while ago to do a podcast, to join the network, I was like, please, guys, join. And they did. And they represent the network very well, and we're very, very happy to have him. Mario was just on Interviews with Everyday People recently, so if you want to learn about him, you can go check out that episode. But he's going to join us for Wonka tonight. We have a lot of cool things to cover here. It's not going to be like a scene-by-scene review. It's going to be more or less like just talking about the movie and maybe learning some fun facts. So please join us in the live chat, because we want to hear all of your favorite things. We're going to be talking some of our favorite quotes. We're going to be talking about fun facts about the movie. We're going to be talking about times you've seen Wonka references in other TV or other media. There's a lot to unpack here. It's going to be a blast. But first, let's get into our housekeeping stuff. Like we said before, the IWEP network. So if you head over to the network, we do have a website that you can check out all the shows in our network, like Welcome Back, Not Cool in High School, Tornado Tag, Interviews with Everyday People, and much, 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 much more. Stay Doomed is another one that's not done by us. Poolbox Pals by Tim Mingle and Higher Than the Words. But like I said, you can go there. It'll take you to all their social medias. You can follow them, check out them on check out the YouTubes, their merch pages, their sponsorships. But yes, if you want to grab some Not Cool in High School merchandise, you can go do that as well. We did announce last week that we have 3 spin-off shows coming that we're very, very excited for. So we'll just kind of pop them up again real quick. Here is the horror show. Oh, that's not where I wanted to pop them up. We're not popping them up because they're not there. Oh, here, maybe in the background. Yeah, so the horror show, the Star Wars show, and there's a Disney show. So we're very, very excited for you guys all to check out those spinoffs that are coming very, very soon.
Rugrats. Yay!
Yeah, there's a Rugrat one. We're going to talk all Rugrats. But also, we do have a Patreon. It's $1 or up to $25. If we get like 100 people doing $1 a piece, that's game changing for us. That pays some bills. So if you can't do the $1 or you can't buy merchandise, that's completely understandable. Times are tough right now. Just like, share, tell the people about the podcast. Word of mouth definitely helps. But for the people who do subscribe, you want to give them their podcast plug. And anything over $10, they're in the running every month for a free T-shirt. So someone wins a free T-shirt every month.
Does anybody do it for March?
I have to do March. I'm probably going to do it this weekend because it's a little free for me Friday night, but we'll figure that out. So Ryan Vox from Outbreak Wrestling, David S, Brett Squared from the Cake Stand in Monty City, Bridget M, Andrew H from Bangin' Beers Podcast, Greg R, Heidi B from this show, Not Cool in High School, Ryan G from the Fueled by House Podcast, Kelly from Crystal Mountain Healing and TBI, Truth Behind Illusion, Tommy B, the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop, Brad Z, Higher Than Other Words, and JH. So thank you guys for the support. Like I said, it helps us out with StreamYard and Adobe and all that other great stuff that we do on this network. It helps pay the bills and keeps the light on. So let's dive in before we get into Wonka. There's some pop culture news that we can dive into. That's going to be very video game, comic book, movie, and TV related. But I guess the big one that we can talk about right off the bat is today we just lost an actor, a comedian, very, very funny man, if you're into that humor. But Gilbert Gottfried passes away today at 67 years old. They're saying that he had a long-term illness that he did not really tell many people or only people that were close to him. And he unfortunately lost that battle today.
That sucks.
Very funny man, even if you don't think he's funny. You're just wrong if you don't think he's funny.
His voice is iconic. Like you'll never.
He's also a Disney star.
Yeah.
As Iago in Aladdin. So
with Iago in Aladdin, he was the Aflac duck for a long time.
Yeah.
And he made one joke about a tsunami, and that was it for him.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So let's get to the chat real quick. See who's all here. So we have a bunch of people watching. Jen Myers hanging out with us. Says hey
Jen.
Jacob says welcome back. Love these guys. So I agree. They're amazing. Jacob, thank you for hanging out. And Jen said the snozberry tastes like snozberries. And the two hearts are both from us. So I'm not gonna shout. Nikolai, thank you for the heart, and also
No.
not cool in high school podcast.
Yeah,
for the
that
heart,
was
so.
because I thought I was on my account.
Yeah, that's
I don't
pretty.
know how to change it.
It's pretty.
It just
It's pretty
happened.
sad when we have to thank ourselves for liking our own content. But yeah, a lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff. A lot of big news. What?
Turn me down. You're like
You're
super
fucking
loud today.
You're loud. There, is that better?
Yeah.
You're just deaf. You have
Turn
sensitive
yourself all
ears.
the way down.
One of the news today is
There's a button
Twitter.
for that.
Yeah, Twitter is officially working on an edit button. So if you're dumb like me and do a lot of spell mistakes,
Yeah.
that's going to be something that's going to be right up your alley very soon. Anyone use Twitter a lot here?
I do on occasion, but it is
I'm
a
really
pain in the
bad.
ass.
I need
when
Just
you
on
have to-
occasion.
You have to delete
delete-
your whole tweet.
especially too like I've had I tweeted stuff out and a celebrity that the tweet was in had retweeted it. And I relook at it. I'm like,
I looked down.
oh shit, it's an error in
Yeah.
there. I'm like, why? And I can't do nothing about it. I don't
Yeah.
want to delete it because they're not going to reshare it again.
Right.
I remember. I wonder if they didn't allow an edit button. So if you're like, I really love insert celebrity name here. I think they're the best, and then they like it and retweet it, and then you're like, edit. This guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen like right off the bat when they
Yeah.
start.
Nikki in the chat, one of our sponsors as well. From so if you want to go to our sponsor page and join Nikki's thing, she does amazing creative stuff with her business. Spider-Man: No Way From Home is out tomorrow on Blu-ray.
What?
Yeah.
What was it?
I was going to say I have it already.
Yeah, it's available. Unless
It
you
came
go
out.
to-
It came out digital only, and now it's physical copies. I do believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my steelbook
Shouldn't
came
be.
in from Best Buy.
Yeah.
It should
yesterday.
be out today, actually.
It said 1 day ago. Yeah, today.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
one
good
day
call.
ago would be yesterday. or
Sorry,
tomorrow.
I'm trying to go back a little bit. Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer was released,
Yeah.
and there's this teaser of a possible Star Wars section.
I'm kind of torn with that.
It's part of Disney Universe now.
I'd have to
But-
see gameplay first.
They've so in the
You
Kingdom
didn't see
Hearts,
the gameplay?
No, I mean, like, if it is actually Star Wars, like, I would want to see, like, further gameplay with the Star Wars characters.
Yeah. and for those of you who don't know much about Kingdom Hearts, they really have only done one live action, right? And that was Pirates of the Caribbean.
They started with Pirates, and no, Tron was the
Oh,
other
and
one.
Tron. But outside of that, adding Star Wars and stuff opens up this floodgate of we're no longer maybe gonna get like Toy Story and those kind of world. It's gonna be all right. Here's Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't. I think that's what our worry is, that they're not gonna overshadow the worlds that we love, like Hercules and you know,
Yeah.
the actual cartoon ones.
Yeah, that's fair. If you are a Batman fan and have not seen the new movie, it officially comes to HBO Max April 18th. You only have a couple more days to wait. Doctor Strange 2 will be one of the longest movies, MCU's longest movies, despite rumors. I wonder if people are going to be upset about it, because if a DC makes a movie over 2.5 hours, people are like, oh, I'm not watching a 3-hour movie. And they're like, Doctor Strange is going to be 16 days long. And people are like, oh, I can't wait.
I think in a way, like Marvel has kind of earned that audience to sit through that, where like DC's put out so many
Fair.
flops. It's like,
I'll
am I
give you
gonna
that.
watch
Yeah.
3 hours of crap? You know,
Well, speaking of flops in Marvel, Morbius not doing well.
Sony Marvel.
Yeah, Sony Marvel.
I saw what the end credit scene was. I was like, this is a disaster.
Mhm.
It
Really?
doesn't make any sense.
Oh boy, poor Jared. I think Jared's a decent human, I guess. I don't really know the guy, but he just seems like he can't strike gold with a comic book movie to save his life. Just going through news here. Anything else? Cyberpunk 2077 is far from finished, and they're all aware of it, and they keep working on it. I can't wait for that to get below $20 on sale so I can finally play it. Because I
It
want-
was,
Eventually, they'll just make it free to play because they're like, oh, we've been working on this game for so long here. Just
Yeah.
take it.
Sonic 2 is doing very well in the box office. People are enjoying it, which is, I mean, that's not a shocker, because the last Sonic
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
awesome.
It was really good.
It was so
I
good.
still haven't finished it.
You fell asleep 3 times.
Mhm.
I noticed 2 trailer things on Twitter recently. Is that Stranger Things season 4 trailer just came out and it looks really
Mhm.
good. And then Marvel, to go back to Marvel, set a new record by not having Thor's trailer out yet. It's going to be the shortest time ever between a trailer dropping and the actual movie like hitting theaters, because they still haven't dropped the trailer, and they're already starting like their press tour to get people ready for the movie. No trailer yet.
Wow. Is this the one where Thor's with the Guardians?
Yeah, Love and
Yes.
Thunder.
Yeah, Love and Thunder.
Okay, and is this where they're gonna do the Jane?
Yeah,
Jane,
I'm
Jane's
pretty sure Jane Foster is going to be it,
the
and
Thor. She's the Thor now, right?
yeah, and Christian Bale's going to be the God Butcher, I
Oh
think.
boy.
So wait, does that mean Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is this, or is
No, Guardians is going
Guardians
to be
separate?
a separate
Okay.
movie.
Yeah. What was the other thing he said there? What was the other news you had?
Stranger Things.
Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
yeah, season 4.
You got to meet someone who's going to be in Stranger
Yeah.
Things 4.
Well, I did it for a reason. I've been holding out meeting, or I've met Robert Englund in the past, who's going to be in the show. And for those of you who don't know who Robert Englund is, he played Freddy Krueger in the original.
X, hit the X on the chat.
Yeah, well, that too. But I met him a long time ago and got some stuff signed. And I was like, oh, he's like,
Was he
really,
the villain?
I don't know. I don't know what he is in Stranger Things.
Catch up, I haven't.
Because they released a close look at the new villain,
Yeah,
and I mean it could it's like it literally looks like
it very well could be.
He looks like evil incarnate.
it kind of looks like Jeepers Creepers almost like a Jeepers Creepers,
Oh,
but more of a human face.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
My
like
fear
something
is
else. I can't think of what it is right now.
after this, his price is going to skyrocket.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to get the photo up now,
Good job.
make sure I have it, and then
Yeah.
if it doesn't skyrocket, maybe I'll do something else at some point. But
Yeah, we're gonna go probably see him in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna fork the money out and meet Robert.
Season.
he's definitely worth it.
2.
I will
Yeah.
say that. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I just saw today season 2 of The Flight Attendant is coming on HBO on August 21st. Really excited about that. That was really good.
All right. I didn't see the first one. What's the flight attendant about?
It's Kaylee Cuoco, and she's like a drunk flight attendant, and she wakes up. She sleeps with this guy and wakes up, and he's dead, and she thinks she killed him.
She probably did. I seen her sex tape.
It was really
Actually, I
good though.
don't.
It's based on a book, but it's really, really good though.
It's her first breakout role since The Big Bang Theory, right?
So it's
I
her
think
first.
so,
It's her
yeah.
first breakout role. Congratulations. I'm sorry. That show is. I'm not a fan.
What?
That's not
A Big Bang
that
Theory.
great.
Oh, I
Oh,
like it.
yeah.
Oh, it,
Yeah,
It,
a lot of people are torn.
it
the
feels
show.
like it tries to be like in a world, but it doesn't know how to be like. It tries to be a nerdy show, but doesn't know how to be a nerdy show. Like I think if you're a legit nerd, I feel like you don't like it. Like
It feels like to me, like it's like a
it's not
sitcom
funny.
that's trying to be smart, but
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. Like,
yeah.
comic book people aren't necessarily super genius people either.
Yeah, but it's nothing about that
Like-
show. You know what the two shows for
or
me
they
that-
are, but they're not
That's
funny.
what that's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
it's maybe that's why there's such a struggle. Not saying that people that read
Yeah.
comic books are not smart, but they're not like Sheldon Cooper, the smartest man on the planet
Yeah, absolutely.
level.
I just think
Think for yourself, buddy.
I mean, I'm not. I will say that.
I just think Big Bang Theory and Friends are the two most unfunniest shows I've ever seen in my life. Like
I
I
when
don't
people,
hate Friends.
people watch it and they're like, "Oh my god, I died laughing." I'm like, "At what part?"
I think some of Friends is funny, and then other parts are
Oof.
not.
Not
It's
me.
one of those
I don't
shows
like
where
some of the characters though. Some of them are just terrible.
it's one of those shows where the laugh track is what saves it, essentially.
Yeah,
And
I
there's a
agree.
recent study where like people overwhelmingly think that like laugh tracks on shows are like cringe and they don't want them, but in blind studies where they have like people react to like scenes
the
with and
same
without
thing.
the laugh track,
Yeah.
they enjoy the laugh track. So they don't want the laugh track, but the laugh track definitely does make people think something's funnier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, there's one more thing
Oh, go ahead.
that I want to, because I know it's not something you're going to bring up. Broadway had an opening this weekend for Beetlejuice is back. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I seen the like them perform it. Like I seen
The opening number.
Well, I kind of I'd seen him do it during the parade. And
Well,
I've
yeah, he
seen-
changes it though every time.
And then I
So-
seen like another like clips from the actual Broadway. Like watch them. I just can't. And I love Beetlejuice. I can't attach to it.
Uh-oh.
Well.
It's been said twice now.
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
Oh!
Come on, Alex Brightman.
here comes Mr. Mom. No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into our main topic: Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a 1971 film by Mel Stewart, which was the book. I don't know exactly sure who the book was written,
Ronald Dahl.
Roald Dahl.
Yeah, Roald Dahl.
and he hated it.
The movie.
Hated the movie.
Yeah.
He said he thought Gene Wilder sucked, and
no,
he did not.
he said Gene Wilder was good. His acting was good, with the movie he didn't like. I think,
No, he said
That's
he
what
did
I
not.
read.
He said he didn't. He don't think Gene Wilder nailed his vision of what Willy Wonka was.
but his acting was good.
and he
That's
hated
what I
the,
read.
he hated the songs. He didn't like the music
I didn't
added
see
to it.
that.
He said he disowns the movie.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, I didn't read that. I read
Well,
that.
I
he
never read
thought
his book, and the movie's awesome. So
I read that
He
he
can
liked Gene
suck it.
Wilder's.
I read it a
acting.
long time ago. I mean, there are some major differences, like the golden goose. They're not
It
a
was the
thing.
squirrels,
It's
right?
squirrels, like
Yeah.
in Johnny Depp's version.
I
yeah,
think we'll call that
So.
improvements.
Yeah, I think the geese were better.
well, let's real quick. Let's dive. I'm going to run down that rabbit hole quick. The 2005 Willy Wonka and Charlie in the Chocolate Factory
Yes.
with Johnny Depp. So I do respect Johnny a lot as an actor. I think he's very talented as an actor. I think given the maybe
Oh,
the
he
direction.
didn't like it because he doesn't like Tim Burton. That's what I read. That's why he didn't like it. He doesn't like Tim Burton,
Oh,
the book guy.
he
That's
didn't
why
like
he
Gene
didn't like the
Wilder
movie.
either.
That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
this one he didn't. That's the one I read. He didn't like the new one because he doesn't like Tim Burton, but he liked Johnny Depp's acting.
Yeah,
That's what it
I think Johnny could do a good Willy Wonka, but I just don't
Yeah.
like the vision that they went with their version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Okay.
Factory. Like it was too much CGI. I think they changed too much. Where I thought they could have leaned a little closer to what the original theme or feel was.
Maybe.
Yeah. So
Or
feel like I
not
need to
have
read the book.
changed as much of the book.
The first time
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to read the book to see.
yeah, I don't know, but like it just the like techno Oompa Loompa songs and stuff like
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't like it. Didn't do it.
I mean, it's its own world at the
Yeah.
same time. Like you can't do a cookie cutter of
yes, you can.
the people are gonna be like,
Uh-huh.
why'd you do that then? Like
Vince
why
Vaughn
not
and
just-
Psycho worked out
Yeah.
great.
I didn't watch it.
Evil Dead 2, cookie cutter.
I
The first
hated
one.
that. I hated it because I skip it.
Really?
I skip it because it's the same movie. I either watch the first one or I watch the second one.
They're like,
Not
they're
both.
like, wait, we have the budget now and the special effects that we could have done the first one.
Yeah.
Let's redo the first one.
You're right. Actually, I
But-
just jumped to Army of Darkness.
Oh, I love part 2.
Cut the first two out.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. Well, what about you, Mario? What do you think of the 2005 version?
It's a huge risk and almost never succeeds when you try to remake a beloved classic. I was talking with Chris the other week about this, about how like just go through, look through Rotten Tomatoes, find the absolutely worst movies, all the ones that people panned poorly and critics hated, and remake those. Try that again. Don't take something that like everyone loves and grew up on and see like, cool, how's my take on it? And like even if it's more like authentic to the book, think about how many more people watch the movie than the book, and now they have to like watch this and be like, this is nothing like Willy Wonka, and then you have actually it's exactly like the book here. and it's like destined to be a flop. You can't strike lightning, or lightning doesn't strike twice. You know, you gotta leave what's perfect alone. And it's almost like when they redid Lord of the Rings from the BBC classic or from the books initially and into the original filming with Vico and all those guys. There was this subgroup of people who enjoyed and loved the classic and hated the changes. And now that they're doing the prequels on Amazon, you're getting the same people saying this is too much of a departure. This is nothing like the movies, or in the other camp, this is nothing like the books. And it's just I hated Johnny Depp's version of not just the movie, but him as the character Willy Wonka. But to an extent, you kind of gotta accept that change is gonna happen, right?
Mhm.
Like the statue of Willy Wonka was not hurt by Charlie. That's
No,
just
not
my
at
take
all.
on it.
I think people probably
Yeah.
lean into it heavier because
And-
they didn't.
Also, too, like you have to look at it from the aspect of they did it in the 70s, right? And then
Mhm.
it lasted for a long period of time. And then you had me and my brother's generation where let's kick it up again. So let's make this new movie, but we're going to do it with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Yeah.
storyline. And we're going to throw some more stuff in and kind of
I just wish. I think the only style of movie in today's time that you see where they tried to stay true to old school classic CGI and maybe just lean into like more makeup or props, but keeping it not CGI and keeping it authentic is horror. And a lot of times, like in horror, they're like, it's B-rated, but like they try to keep it that way for a reason.
Yeah.
Where in major movies, it's like, well, instead of building a whole boat or building the like how they did all that stuff in the 1971, and then they have 2005. They're like, well, instead of spending all this money buying a boat and making all these props, which then do really well when people are like, I can go see the original thing in a museum somewhere. They're like, we'll just CGI the whole thing, and then there's nothing after the movie. Like the movie kind of just stands on its own, and maybe you get like a prop with clothing, but everything else is kind of dead because they created it CGI without creating. And I think that's what kind of hurts sometimes for me anyway.
No, I completely understand. Like I see that all the time in
Yeah.
movies where I know CGI works because I've seen it in films.
Yeah.
But then other ones I'm like, I know it goes through this chain of people. I'm like, how? Why did you say this was okay? Was it just because somebody was like, we need to get this movie out and call it a day? I don't like seeing crap when I know good is out there.
Yeah. Raymond says he was upset because the book was darker and Willy Wonka was more bright. Yes, I did. He did say that. I do remember reading that. And it was the version of Chocolate Factory. By far was way better.
By far, Willy Wonka was better.
Yeah.
Than Charlie.
CGI and music killed it. Like, yeah, I agree. I agree.
The Oompa Loompas actually is like one of the. I don't know how they could have done it. What year was it? 2005. There was a remake. I don't know how.
2005.
I don't know how they could have done it correctly, but how they did it with just one actor repeated over and over. They all look the same. Like I don't know if they could have gotten away with like putting out a casting call for every little person in the vicinity to come work for there, and that would have been great too. I think if they would have stuck with that. But like, if you're just gonna take the guy's, he's also vertically not inclined person, right? The actor they have just made him look even smaller.
In
the remake.
I mean, he's definitely a little person.
Is he?
Yeah, he definitely is.
Okay.
Because he was in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and stuff.
Okay.
And they showed it behind the scenes with him.
Well, that's kind of we can kind of touch on that a little bit. So right now they want to make a Snow White.
Yeah.
And Peter Dinklage is like, I think we've gotten past this where little people live in caves, and then let's get away from that and not do it. And because he's probably the most successful and well known actor who is a little person. But there's a huge
the rest
camp.
Of the community is like, no, why would you
They're
say
like,
this?
you're literally taking, like, it's great for you that you're making big money
like
because
like
you've made it, but
one of
those are jobs for us.
Yeah.
You
They're
know?
guarantees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be a way for us to be taken, like, you know, I mean, to go to another level because we can actually showcase our acting ability.
And you know, it's
so
obviously
it's torn. It really comes down to what side of the camp you're on.
I'm not a little person, but when I do casting calls and stuff, and they ask me how tall I am, I already know they want somebody tall.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it's like for them.
Yeah.
When like Snow White or something comes up, and it's like I could be in a Disney movie. There's not that many of us that are in the acting community necessarily. Let's push forward to this, and they're like, oh, we're gonna hire normal size actors and CGI their body.
I feel like that's like there's a fine line, and I understand what he's saying about that, but I also feel like if you're not going to say like, okay, like you said, like strictly like this height or whatever, then I feel like you're going backwards to like blackface.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
It's a
like,
conversation.
Yeah.
Like we're just going to end up going backwards to where like they would be all white actors and they would just paint their face. Like then anybody can just be anybody, like any role, which I feel like, I guess it's all right, but at the same time, it's not really, you're not really portraying the right, like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's a tough conversation. Everett Lee, who was on the interviews with other people last night, thank you for hanging out. Just watching you guys on my YouTube and TV. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Listen, if we can get more people to go over to that YouTube and help us hit that goal of at least 100 subscribers so we can make a custom URL, that'd be great. I think we're stuck around like 34 or 35 right now. So if you are watching and you're watching on Facebook, and you can take a couple moments to make a YouTube account in your free time and just follow us. And if you scroll to the very bottom, all of our other YouTube accounts are there, including Nikolai's and Anthony's. Give them a subscribe. Help us out a little bit. It costs you nothing, and it helps us a lot. So that'd be great. So I'll pose my first question of the movie to you guys. So we're gonna take turns asking some questions.
Take care of something.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah. Something's up. My grandmother called. She's like, nobody's answering, so I don't know what.
Okay. All right. Hope nothing crazy. So I'll pose my first question to the table. This movie is a musical. There's a lot of songs in it, a lot of things. For you, I think I will eliminate pure imagination. I think that's like the main jam. So I'll start with our guest.
Is it technically like how? This is a weird question.
What constitutes a song?
How many songs like in the movie till it constitutes a musical?
I would say this movie teeters on a musical.
Or does it just have songs?
What?
What?
Golden Ticket.
That's your favorite? I was saying what constitutes
Oh,
like how many songs have to be in a movie to make it a musical.
That I don't know.
would you consider this movie a musical?
I do, but that's also because there's 2 actual musicals that came out. Willy Wonka, the musical, which I was in, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the musical,
Okay.
which was on Broadway a couple years ago.
Okay.
So that's, but they have like songs every 2 seconds. But you do have Golden Ticket. You have Pure Imagination. You have the Oompa Loompa
Candyman.
songs, Candyman. So
Okay.
I would
That's
say
musical.
it has enough to.
So then every time we say we don't like musicals, we're wrong.
No,
Pretty much.
No, I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I love Little Shop of Horrors. Willy Wonka's close there. All the Disney movies growing up, for the most part, were animated musicals.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. We don't like musicals technically, but really we do.
Yeah, I think when they don't talk at all and the entire thing is like,
Like Les Mis.
"Are you
That's
going
what
to
I'm
the store
thinking,
today?"
yeah.
I can't do that. Yeah. But we'll start with our guess. Your favorite song from the movie,
It's hard.
and then you're in
No.
the chat. In the chat, let us know what your favorite Willy song from the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie.
Yeah.
I don't think anything beats geese. I want my geese to lay gold eggs for Easter. And Veruca Salt, I Want It Now. That's like that.
Yeah.
Not only the song, but the performance of the song, the entitlement that shines through, the ignoring her that Wonka does as she throws the streamers around him.
Yeah.
That's the best song I think in the whole thing. Maybe even over the performance is. I would put that over Pure Imagination.
Wow.
But-
Yeah.
When it comes to the song itself, obviously Pure Imagination kind of shines
No,
through.
I
the
hear here.
performance.
So there's the main title song, like it's not really a musical, but it's a song. You have the Candyman. You have Charlie's Paper Run. You have Cheer Up Charlie. You have Lucky Charlie. I Got a Golden Ticket. These are from the soundtrack. Not all these are songs. Like some of them are musical scores. Yes. Pure Imagination. Oompa Loompa. The Wondrous Boat Ride, which is a very that's close. That's a Diablo
Maybe, yeah.
song. It's a Diablo in the yeah. But anyway, Everlasting Gobstoppers, The Bubble Machine, I Want It Now, The Wonka Mobile, and The Elevator end title. But I will agree 100% with Mario. Veruca, I Want It Now is my jam. Yeah.
Mm.
stellar performance.
Yeah.
Fire song, Diablo performance.
Agreed.
I just like all the songs that Oompa Loompa sing because they're just like talking shit on all the kids, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Wonka's great. What do you get when you go to Down Sweet? So Raymond's gonna say
Yeah.
the Oompa Loompa song. Yeah. I love the
What
Oompa
do you
Loompa.
get when your kid is a brat?
I love when except the very last Oompa Loompa song, the TV one. That's my least favorite of all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's ours.
Yeah. But yeah, we have the Oompa Loompa. I can't wait to get to the facts. There's just so much that I learned about this movie that I never knew.
Anthony, what's your favorite song?
Yeah.
You said
Honestly,
Golden Ticket.
It's the song on the riverboat because it's such a different tone from the rest of the movie.
Mhm.
It feels like a unique experience that it's like, are we like in like a horror movie now? That like this is like a horror musical? It's like you sold me. I'm in.
With
Yeah.
the creepy centipede thing.
It's the
That
only
is-
song in the movie that actually quotes the book when he's singing like "There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going." That's like it's the
Mhm.
only actual lyric that comes from the source material.
Oh, that's cool.
I love that boat ride. Also, kind of a hot button topic to bring him up now because he kind of got himself in some trouble, and I think he's in the cancel list for society. But
Hello.
back in the day, there was a Marilyn Manson CD, and there was a like a sidetrack thing, and he did like a darker, creepier version of that in his album.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
he
read
did
that in the book.
He did the boat ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was rumors that he wanted to like film and produce and do his own Wonka movie, and that was like his introduction to do it, where he wanted to be like Marilyn Manson as Willy Wonka, and like these kids were getting butchered.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I would
Not
watch
from-
that.
I would totally watch it.
Nikki said, what'd she say? The boat ride and
And I Want It Now are my faves.
favorite.
I agree. I'm right there with Nikki. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm a golden ticket camp.
Golden
but-
ticket.
Yeah, but I'm biased.
I got the golden ticket.
No, because I so
We have a golden
when I was in high school, we did
We do.
a Willy Wonka,
We have a golden ticket.
and I actually got cast as Charlie Bucket.
Ooh.
So I have a bit of a bias for certain things of the show and the movie and stuff, just because it, like, once I did the show, it was always just like, and a part of me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when they do the burp stuff with the fizzy lifting drinks, right? When we did that on stage, we did it on ladders, but I could not burp. I still can't burp.
You can't burp on command.
No, I cannot. I can't burp,
can't either.
period. Period.
You can't?
Not on command, no.
Can you?
I don't think
Ah,
Okay.
how
good.
do you do it?
You
You've
swallow
been
air.
Phenomenal.
Swallow
do
it, push
that.
it out.
No, like
No, that
you have to literally feel the air go into your. We're burping on microphones. I love it.
nothing happens.
But the whole point of why I'm telling you this story is because I get a laugh out of it every time
Some
I think
people
about it.
make themselves throw up doing it.
Well, there was a girl off stage with a microphone burping for me.
There you go.
So that's what happened in the movie too.
Ah,
I
we'll get
think-
to that. That's a fact. We're gonna get to the facts later.
the whole time. God, ruin everything.
Raymond says I want it now. One of his favorites. I love, dude. You guys all participating in this is
Yeah.
making my night. Thank you guys so much.
Wonka
what
brings
age?
out a
We
lot
knew
of people.
we knew we picked a good topic if people are into it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I have to burp now.
We have a
You
switch.
always burp. You always got the beer burps.
Yeah, but now I'm like forcing myself on top of the beer
Don't
burp
throw
and
up.
heartburn.
Don't
Dude, if I
throw up.
puke on camera, it'd be great.
Maybe people will watch us more.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if they're gonna throw up this.
He's gonna puke.
He did a puke.
Wonka's another movie too that I think when you watch it as the innocence of a child and then you grow up and you rewatch it, you're kind of like, oh, these kids may or may not be
Dead.
dead.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like there is a kind of a spooky element to the movie where he's just so like, oh, please stop, don't do that. And
Oh,
you're
it
like,
cracks me up how dry he is. He's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because he knows they're just
Police.
gonna.
Murder.
and another scene when you become an adult and you realize how hardworking is, and then you think of poor Charlie killing himself at a young age to feed his family because all they can do is eat cabbage soup,
Yeah.
and they're struggling, and he finally works up the courage and he finds coins on the street and buys a Wonka bar, even though his hopes and dreams are dashed, and he comes home with a golden ticket. And that fucking scumbag grandpa jumps out of bed and does
Oh
a
my
whole
gosh.
musical number and dances around the house. And this motherfucker's been bedridden for 20 years.
Just draining the family. Draining the
Just-
family.
He is killing this family.
I want
First
to
off-
post-credit scenes when they get back from the factory, and like the mom's like, "So you're gonna work now, right?" Like you just
He's
spent
like,
all
"Oh,
day,
oh,
the
oh,
whole
that-
day walking around the factory, no wheelchair. You left your cane at home. It's sitting right here. You used it in the dance number when you got out of bed for the first time. You're gonna help me wash these clothes."
Yeah.
See, that's what I like about the Tim Burton one. That you get to see those things. Like Wonka goes back to the house. You get to see the kids. Like Mike TV's super stretched out, and like it's just it adds certain things to me. Not
I have to
necessarily
rewatch. I haven't seen
being
that one
like,
forever.
oh, I absolutely love that movie, or it's like better than the original, which
Yeah.
it's not. But I liked those elements where it was things like that where it's like, oh, I wanted that after credit scene. They kind of gave you that.
And grandpa's like, how dare he do this? I'm going to go in there and talk to him. Like, you have no, grandpa, you are
Get
lucky
out,
to even be
Grandpa.
there.
Also, I looked up the conversion rate for what Slugworth was going to give each of the kids.
Oh, yeah, good call.
10 grand for a everlasting gobstopper I would have never traded that for $70,000.
Is that all it was in 71?
Well, he
That's a lot
offered them
back then.
$10,000,
Well, here's the thing.
but
the
back
movie-
then it was 70.
The movie was made in 71, but it never technically
The
says,
book was written in 64, I
Mm.
want to say.
but it doesn't actually say a time period of when.
Sure, but still, like $10,000. I don't care what time you're from. It's not like you're gonna make millions off of this candy that never goes away. Essentially,
And there's one kid out of all the kids who got golden tickets who would actually benefit from selling the gobstopper, and he's the only one who like gave it up. Like all the
Yeah.
other kids, when you look at their family dynamics, they all come from whole homes.
Mhm.
Charlie's missing a dad.
Yeah.
They come from whole homes. They have their own homes. Business owners, a peanut packing factory, a car dealership, whatever fat kids' parents do to keep him plump. And
he's the
Charlie,
butcher,
Charlie's
Butcher, yeah.
the big butcher in town. Yeah,
Charlie's the only person who could actually gain. I mean, when you have absolutely nothing, when a loaf of bread is a banquet, $10,000 / $70,000,
yeah.
he's the only person who,
Sure.
at a glance, you would think would actually sell it. And he's the one who gives it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially because like Grandpa Joe's like, oh, let's go get that money, and he's like, no, here you
I don't
go.
want it.
Yeah.
I'm giving up a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if the kids tried to get a hold of Slugworth later with theirs, and he's like, "No, I work for Wonka. You're not getting anything from me."
Yeah. She goes, I never read the book, but supposedly they're all dead in the book from what I heard. And I had high hopes that Tim Burton would have went that version, and he he did not. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad he didn't, because then it's not a kids movie anymore. Like, it's one thing to not show anything, but if you're like, they're blatantly,
Dead.
one burned in the fire, and then you see them like catch on fire or something, I think too
Violet
much.
exploded.
Yeah, like that would just be.
Yeah, instead of like panning out to see them walking in the parking lot, it's just like the grieving parents pushing caskets.
Yeah.
Well, two kids would have been burned, right? Because the bad eggs went to a furnace too.
Yeah, so it
eggs
would have
went to the
been Veruca
incinerator.
and her dad.
And
fudge
Augustus
room-
went
the
to the
fu-
fudge room.
But it also had a furnace in it too to cook the fudge.
Yeah,
Can't remember.
Because he goes, the furnace. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, he doesn't go to the marshmallow room. That goes to the fudge room.
Yeah. And they're like, make sure he doesn't go in the furnace or something like that, they say. The TV kid would have been fine. He just stuck his whole life.
Yeah, that would have
Honey,
been
I
a great
Shrunk the
life.
Kids.
Yeah. Well, unless they stretched him out and pulled him apart.
Well, they sent him to the taffy room. So,
Yeah,
To
Right?
stretch him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they probably he's dead.
Yeah. He's the only one too that like the kid in the pipe. When you actually see like the dummy in the pipe in the 4K version, like there's actually a dummy in the pipe. Yeah.
Okay, for Augustus.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the river. Yeah.
Augustus Gloop.
He's like legit drowning, and he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, suction's got him. He's just like,
Yes, no one's really trying to do anything. They're all like, you know how a gun works? Just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grandpa all of a sudden is the most knowledgeable guy.
He just knows everything.
The pressure, Charlie. It's gonna shoot him through the roof.
That's why he was staying in bed for 20 years. Is because he knows a lot about guns, and he's just been keeping a low profile.
Reading
Yeah.
all the books.
It's a little bit of a spoiler, Raymond, but that is something we're going to talk about towards the end. So he says, when's the new version
Ooh.
come out? So that's
So
something we will
that
touch
is
on.
the new
Yeah.
version. he says.
Well, the prequel version.
Yes.
It's not really a new version.
I wouldn't mind if they took another stab at it, to be honest, if they kind of kept everything.
Well, so what I kind of feel like might happen, without talking into
you think
this
there's
too
going to be a
much,
part 2?
I think that if this one does well, it'll just grow into, because it's supposed to be a prequel to the Gene Wilder type thing, at least
Yeah.
from the way it looks and whatnot.
So does anyone else have anything they want to bring up before we get into facts?
No,
Yeah,
I've just been-
Oh yeah.
Well, we're talking about the absolute garbage as Grandpa Joe and the rough edges of all the kids. I was wondering if we'd like to take some swings at the 7 deadly sins. Some people have taken and drawn connections to the different characters walking through the factory and how each one of them kind of coincides with a different one of the 7 deadly sins. And for a quick refresher for anyone listening, they are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
Okay. So I'll go with the cowboy kid. He's wrath because he likes violence and war
Sure.
and guns and on TV.
Mm.
I like that. I wrote them down in
Greed
in
would be
sloth.
Veruca.
Greed
Yeah,
would be
the
Veruca.
Sloth is
Augustus.
Augustus.
Yeah, sloth. I don't know what Violet.
Violet would be gluttony. She's always eating and chewing
No.
gum.
No.
Oh, gluttony.
No, I
Would
feel like
be
Augustus
Augustus
would
too.
be-
Augustus, yeah.
Oh, well,
Gluttony.
see.
Yeah.
All right, well, hold on. Violet.
Well, she could be sloth
prideful,
because she chews with her mouth
'cause
open.
She's always chewing.
Or
like,
pride,
and
yeah.
saying like how the best she is at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually-
rubs it
Yeah.
on TV, international TV. She rubs it in her friend's face that she still has the piece of gum, and she set
Good
the
call.
record.
Yeah.
Good
That's
call.
a good call.
Yeah. What are we
So
missing?
so the way I've been looking at it is pride. We got Violet Beauregard. For greed, all of them, each and every one of them, maybe save for
Charlie.
Charlie, right? When it comes to lust, you can kind of put Veruca there because of how much she just wants and wants and wants more and wants more. I'm getting ahead of myself. But Charlie also is lusting after the life that he can't quite have. So it's almost like he falls into envy in a way. But envy, actually, Veruca kind of pops up a lot there too, where she's where she tried to get two. She was worried that the other girl would get two, and the way that, of the everlasting gobstoppers, and just the way she looks at everything that isn't hers, and just it's like her greed and envy because she sees the life that Wonka has.
Yeah, I would say
gluttony.
both girls can fall into that too, because the entire time they keep elbowing each other to see who's going to get to a room first, and it's only the two girls really fighting like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, then Veruca could be Wrath too, because
Yeah.
She's very angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gluttony, of course, is Augustus. Wrath, people say, and I can see it, Wonka, but it was almost like a test / a righteous anger in a way when he got mad. And then Sloth, Mike TV, sitting around watching TV all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you notice I didn't say one because he's the worst of them all right, there's a whole subreddit dedicated to Grandpa Joe hate, and I think he is the embodiment of true evil because he fits in every single category.
Wow.
Slothful for 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
The gluttony of just of not being able to control himself when they get to the fizzy lifting drinks, just oh no, this is mine, I'm entitled to this, right? The pride he has, and it's almost like a deviated pride in his family because he just knows that Charlie is gonna win it. The greed when he sees that there's an opportunity of a lifetime, he hops right out of bed. Lust, somebody's touching me, he's groping that lady. He's groping that lady. And the wrath of Grandpa Joe when he is confronted by the fact that he ruined Charlie's chance, that he convinced him to drink the fizzy lifting drinks. He freaked out and he blamed Wonka for what he did wrong. He's like the secret villain that, like, you would think like, oh, this is a great story about a little boy and his grandpa going to the factory and getting this life. But no, it's about pure innocence in Charlie and fighting the ever destructive influences of his nasty, evil, deviant grandfather.
So, new movie, very end. Wonka, tears in his eyes. Charlie, you did it. You win. You win. You get everything. Can Grandpa move in? No. You. And he slides a gun across the table.
They're up in the sky in the elevator, and he just opens the door.
Pushes them out.
He just slides a revolver across. He goes, "You want the chocolate factory? He's got to go."
Only two of us can make it to the ground.
And just bang, end credits.
It's such a great movie. Just it's both the hero's journey and a cautionary tale.
All right.
with-
So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Come.
I was just gonna say, like, filled with life lessons that, like, parents watching with their kids. You know, you're laughing along and like, oh, look at these messed up parents, but it gives you just that moment of reflection to think, like, am I creating the next Mike TV? Does my kid guzzle down sweets? You know,
You're like, oh, kids really suck.
So out of the kids, who is the best actor out of the kids? Who do you think stands above all as a character? How they portrayed that character? Who do you give the Oscar to for best actor out of the children?
Are you asking me specifically right in this moment?
The whole table. I'll start with
looking
you.
right at you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going right
I
at
was
you.
like-
So you're going first.
I don't know. I'd probably say Mike TV.
The little kid?
Yeah.
Okay. The little boy.
Yeah.
Wham! You're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Anthony.
I'm going to say Violet.
Violet. Okay. Heidi.
I don't know.
Did we come back to you? Podcast is not good for dead air.
Veruca.
Veruca.
I gotta
It's a little
agree.
crazy.
Veruca.
Yeah.
I'm
Veruca
going.
for
I'm
sure.
going
She
Veruca
was
all
real
day.
crazy.
She was good.
I mean-
she was really good.
She
Yeah.
was really good.
But Violet, she's
she
got
the
some
only
sass
one?
to her.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
it, you
she does.
nit, or whatever
Yeah.
she says.
Out of the parents, best actor.
Oh god. I don't
Oh,
remember
boy.
any of them.
Parents,
Ooh.
probably Mike TV's mom.
I like
Because
her
I
a
feel
lot.
like she has the most screen time though too, and there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
Besides Grandpa Joe.
Right. But as we've discovered, nobody likes him, so I'm not going to talk about him.
Maybe that's why it makes him a good actor.
Maybe he's a great actor because we hate him so much.
He pretended to be bedridden for 20 years.
Maybe.
I like Veruca's dad. What does he say? You're off your bird or something like that. He uses a British slang.
Something weird.
I
yeah.
forget, but yeah, I would probably go with the kid's
A
mom,
little
the Cowboys
nonsense
mom.
Here and there.
Yeah. What about you, Anthony?
I'm going to have to go with Veruca Salt's dad.
Veruca Salt's dad.
Yeah.
I'm
Mario.
going with Violet Beauregard's dad.
Okay.
Especially like when she's talking about all the flavors she's tasted from the gum. He's like, with the sweet potatoes.
he's like, and the cream cheese. All right. So we got our moments. We figured out who the best child is, the best adult. We said how much we hate fucking grandpa.
I don't hate him personally.
He's
but
the worst.
It's fine.
I don't know exactly
We
where
got a
this.
Grandpa Joe apologist here.
Yeah. I don't know exactly where this falls in the category of Gene Wilder's film discography. But I'm interested. Like, I'd be curious to know during the time of people like, oh, we're making this kids movie, and Gene Wilder's going to play this role as a kids movie person. And then people are like, you mean the guy from See No Evil and it makes all these really raunchy Mel Brooks movies? Like, it'd be interesting to see like how I'd be curious to know like during the time how people like took that. Like,
Sure.
like when De Niro did like Eddie Murphy, when he started doing kids movies, you're like, the guy who does like the most like the craziest stand-up of all time is now gonna
donkey.
is not gonna be an
But-
animated donkey.
Also, too, it's like with Gene Wilder, at least out of the movies I've seen, it's always more comedic side of things. It was never that he was like this hardened criminal in movies or anything where
Or, like,
I
make
couldn't
jokes.
see him as a child.
Yeah, but he can like
But he's
he would
also
drop
not very,
F-bombs
like-
and
Sure,
yeah.
but like the boat ride where he has that twisted
Yeah.
moment and stuff. You almost need an actor that is used to doing.
Yeah.
certain
He's good at
things.
playing a psychopath.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why it's good.
Yeah.
But and I feel like he's not really like real kid like in the movie either.
Right.
It's,
No, what I think why he was the perfect choice.
yeah.
All right.
If I could have recasted Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, like if they were to remake it, I think Jim Carrey would have been a perfect Willy Wonka. Because what strikes me about Gene Wilder versus Johnny Depp is that they play Johnny Depp as this pale, small guy, this
Yeah.
eccentric weirdo, while Gene Wilder looks like just any average guy out there.
With crazy hair.
But he's
Just
just kind of like
It's so wild.
he's
Yeah.
just as
What are
he's
you doing?
obsessed with his hobby, his career. And so like having like someone who looks like an average Joe guy but can play wild. Like all I gotta do is point you to liar. You can see the range on this guy and
Yeah.
the Truman Show and all that.
You know who I would recast Wonka as if I can make the movie in today's time? I mean, he's everyone's man crush, but Ryan Reynolds,
That would be an
Well,
interesting take.
Yeah,
because he can do the
probably.
humor, but he'd also be very dry. Like, oh no, the kid's dead. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh no, please stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do that like dry, like flat,
Yeah.
really good. I think that would be good.
Like, but it's still
Yeah.
it's hilarious because
Yeah.
the way he could deliver it.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who plays House.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh,
Benedict
that'd be
Cumberbatch.
great.
Okay.
I didn't know where he was. For a second.
Yeah. What about you?
Ooh.
He said Ryan Reynolds.
I'm agreeing with Ryan Reynolds.
You go
Actually.
You're the one that
Yeah.
said Ryan Reynolds.
I
no,
did.
no, he did.
Oh.
I'm agreeing with that. Ryan Reynolds would actually be a perfect pick.
Sorry,
Yeah. Who do you pick?
I agree with that one.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
All right, so we will dive into the facts.
Yeah, let me say them because you're just gonna read all them and steal all mine that I told you already.
I'll let you take the lead on this. So, what facts did you learn when you watched
Okay.
the bonus
I got
DVD?
a lot of facts. I was looking them up the other day and then I watched stuff earlier, and now they're all gonna fly out of my head. Hold on a second.
Oh, and
Here
there.
we
No,
go.
no,
Here they
no,
come.
I was
Here they
saying-
come.
So Grandpa Joe was in, I think, World War II, and he pretty much almost blind. So they had to put like a red light where they wanted him to look, so that he could look in the right spots all the time.
So he
The
did the
other
whole-
the other grandpa.
Was it the other grandpa? One of the grandpas.
Oh, so
No, I
was it?
thought it was Grandpa Joe.
I think
I
it
don't
was the
know.
other grandpa
I thought
because
it
he
was
has those
Grandpa
big
Joe.
glasses and you only see him in the bed. It'd kind of be hard to do. Evil,
Mm.
despicable Grandpa Joe looking at red lights the whole time. But
Oh.
Don't try to soften up Grandpa Joe at a World War
No,
II story.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Hold on.
I have a fact while she's looking
Go
it
ahead.
up.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So in the movie, they decided that they were going to do a little joke / conspiracy theory during their movie. So when the fifth and final contestant wins the golden ticket, he's
You're
a
right. It's
man
Grandpa
from
George.
he's a man from Paraguay who is a German guy. And the joke was, and the conspiracy theory for the longest time is when the Nazis relocated, they all went to Paraguay. And there's a whole conspiracy really to this, where there's a village in Paraguay. To this day, they speak German. Like like literally in a small jungle town in the middle of South America, they speak 100% German, and people in that town speak Spanish or Portuguese and German, and it kind of feeds into that theory that maybe they, in hiding after World War II, instead of being arrested as criminals, they went to Paraguay. So the photo of the man who faked everything was actually Hitler's assistant.
Oh yeah.
They use a legit Nazi war guy as his
That's
photo,
crazy.
and people were like, "You use a real Nazi!" Like, and the movie takes place in Germany.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like edgy for a moment, and they didn't think that many people were up on their Nazi history and use it as a joke. So that photo of that man is
Well, I feel like
one of
we
Hitler's
probably were
right
not
hand
up on
man.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Grandpa George actually, and it was World War One. But so again with being filmed in Germany, a lot of the Oompa Loompas are from Germany.
Yes.
And some of them didn't speak English, so they didn't actually know the words to the song.
So if you go back and watch some of the Oompa Loompa musicals,
Not
some
all
of them
know the
have
words.
no idea what they're saying.
And there's
Just
one
mouthing
lady.
along.
Yeah, there's
Only one lady. There is
10 a girl.
10 Oompa Loompas, and there's one lady.
So the whole time knowing that, we now go back
Now
and
we're,
watch
like,
Willy
looking for
Wonka
her.
and look for the female. There's one female Oompa
lady.
Loompa.
One lady Oompa Loompa.
And once you see her once, because they use it, there's the same 10 people over and
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
But once you see her, you can't unsee her. You see her in every scene.
She
So-
knows
Mhm.
what you get when you guzzle down sweets.
Yeah. And fun fact about the Oompa Loompas, they enjoyed guzzling down beer because
Yeah.
after every time they finished set, they would all go to the bar and get hammered and show up the next day and be very mean and drunk and hungover. They were partiers. Yeah.
Peter,
I'd have been chilling
Peter
with the Oompa Loompas.
Ostrom, who plays Charlie, that was the only movie he was ever in.
Yep.
And then he became a veterinarian.
And he's like a life coach kind of thing. Not like a life coach, that's the wrong word, but like he goes to like different like organizations and stuff and does talks and
Cool.
and
Motivational
things like
speaker.
yeah, motivational speaker. That's the word.
Yeah.
So tell us
Well-
what happened on his Twitter account.
So, well, supposedly, this is what I found. When Gene Wilder died, he changed his social media to say, former child actor, veterinarian, inherited chocolate factory on the 29th of August, 2016.
So the day Gene Wilder actually passed away, he then took over the chocolate factory. 'cause
That's
he's-
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a very long internship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it was paid.
I mean, to be fair, he did have an entire place to live and all the food you could eat. And
Yeah.
what do you need money for when you have that world
Yeah.
at the end of the day?
Don't
Like,
need anything.
I'm Wonka. What do you like? You walk anywhere.
If you actually take that in today's times, if someone turned around and said like, we're going to give away the Hershey factory,
yeah.
like imagine like a factory, all of a sudden, no workers go in and out and it's ran every single day and it makes this amazing candy. And then all of a sudden they're just like,
That's what Hershey is.
huh?
That's what Hershey is.
No, well, you actually see people clocking in and out like a whole gated thing. Like,
They work literally every single day.
yeah, but but what I'm saying is
Just
like,
paid
I know,
actors
I
to go
know.
in and out.
it would just be it's a cool theme to it. Like it's a cool universe to
Yeah.
build with the movie. But all right, next fact.
Violet, there's a scene when they're getting on the boat and she picks her nose. She didn't want to do that because she had a crush on Charlie.
Interesting.
She had a little crushy
She
crush.
did it, but she didn't want to. And then in the scene when they first come into the big room, Veruca has a rock and she's cracking open the thing, but she
Yeah.
dropped it and hit her knee. So you can see like there's
the
blood on her
scrapes and stuff.
stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if her very first scene, you see her knees cut up. Either she fell on the rock, they said, or she dropped it on her knee.
Yeah.
But she cuts herself on the rock.
I did not realize this until watching it this time that the scar on Slugworth's face is fake.
That's
I just
cool.
thought
back
it
then, that's
was-
really good.
Yeah,
So if you watch it on HBO Max,
I watched it in 4K this
it
time.
is on. I believe it is a
Ooh.
4K higher
Yeah,
resolution version.
I still
It's-
couldn't tell though.
It's.
Huh.
I seen things in that movie that I didn't see before
Yeah.
because it was
Well,
in such
yeah,
a
I
higher
saw the
resolution.
Slugworth slizzers or whatever they
Yeah.
are. I didn't see that before.
But what they did was it was like this liquid makeup that they put on his face, and after it would dry, they would do it layer by layer and like
Mm.
paint it and stuff to make it look like it had as much depth as it did. But the material that they used was flammable.
Oh, fun.
So-
Oh,
Yikes.
okay.
Yeah.
Fun. Okay, that takes me to another one. So when they have like all the foam stuff coming out of that
Mhm.
thing, that was fire extinguisher
Yeah.
stuff, and everyone was like irritated after that. that doesn't sound fun at all.
Here's actually I'm
Probably
gonna deviate from the facts just for one more question, and it's a theory about the movie, a fan theory. Does Wonka know going into the movie, like going into this event and letting people in, that he is going to eliminate kids one by one? Or like, do you think that was a conscious plan of Wonka from the start,
I
that
think
he
so.
knew kids were going to get whacked off one by one?
Honestly, I think, I mean, we talked about this off air, but I guess we should talk about it here. That rewatching it this time, they were planted.
Yeah.
Like there was no way, like for the interviews, yeah, the Slugworth being there, like it makes sense. That he could, they'd find it and then a news report comes and stuff. But him being like with Veruca in the factory, the minute she finds it, him being right around the corner with Charlie, I feel like he planted the coin in the grate that, like maybe it wasn't necessarily his plan, but I feel like Wonka was like surveying things and finding.
So the interesting thing about the vehicles in the movie,
that's what I was going to say.
when they get on the boat, there's only enough seats for everyone except
there's 8 seats.
So they knew there was 8 seats.
They knew that 2 of them.
So 2 of them would have never been able to get on that boat.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when they get on the vehicle, there's only 4 seats.
Yeah.
So he almost kind of knew going in that I only need 4 seats for this thing because I'm only going to need 4 people to get on it.
Yeah.
I mean, when Augustus was slopping up all that chocolate, he was fine over there for a good couple guzzles, and it wasn't until Wonka came bolting up to try to stop him that he fell in. I don't know. I don't know. Might need to slow mo it. Yeah.
Might need
Well,
an
and
instant replay.
I think this that he was showing them basically like appealed to their. Obviously, he knew that he was gonna do something crazy because his little
There you go.
glutton.
He really did put
And
the
golden
temptation
eggs,
up in
the
front
golden eggs for Veruca,
of them.
and the gum. Like out of all the things, you showed them gum because the girl loves gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what did you
He
what did
set
you
him
think
up.
was gonna
Showed
happen?
them Wonka vision.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Mike. He
to
set
get
him
rid of
up.
the TV.
100%.
I wonder if he
agree.
built those rooms
It's a setup.
after the kids like
Yeah.
1, 3, like, all right, how can I fuck with these kids?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's how he picked those kids.
Yeah, I know. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. But like,
Yeah.
what if the rooms were specifically designed because he knew that those kids were gonna get the bars?
Fun fact. Fun stuff.
After Charlie wins the factory, he like takes it all down. Like, no, that was just a set. This is a real factory.
Yeah.
You got to run a business.
We're gonna tear this down and make
I-
something else.
you're
I just wanted
going
to kill those kids. You know?
Yeah. You're going to business college right now.
Yeah.
Any other facts?
Yeah, Violet, the makeup that they used on Violet like soaked into her pores. Then she was like in math class or something, and it started coming out, and her face was turning blue again. There's probably more, but I can't remember right now.
So Gene Wilder, it was the first scene walking down when
yeah,
they first introduced him, and everyone was so excited because it's Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
And then he started walking out like all crippled,
the limp.
and
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, what is he all right?" And then he did the role because that wasn't necessarily written in the script. He kind of just did it.
Well, he wouldn't. He told them he wouldn't do the movie unless he could do that.
Yeah.
And then he spent all this.
But I think the
practice.
kids themselves
They
had
didn't know.
no idea that it was coming or anything.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh,
Yeah, I think they did that a lot where they didn't let the kids know.
He wanted the
what was
kids
happening.
he wanted the people on set to never be able to figure out where he was going
Yeah.
next. And then he said, he says the reason why that Kane getting stuck in the sidewalk and then doing the tumble set into the thing was to start that illusion of Willy Wonka that you have no idea where, like,
You don't know if he's lying. Or
you don't know
telling
if he's telling the truth or not, or he's lying or anything. So
Yeah.
like, so each room he kind of changes personalities a little bit too, where he's doing different things, where he's angry at one point, he's crazy, he's confused, he doesn't know where, like, you know what I mean? So there was, he always set that tone.
And I think there was a lot of, like you said, they didn't know, so they did a lot of like, what's that called? Like their natural reaction.
yeah, it was."
Because I read they did that too when they came into the big first room.
Mm.
That was the first time the
Yeah.
kids saw it, so that was
And,
their first
like,
reaction.
I know this isn't Wonka, but for the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, that when she first goes through to see the other side, like the other world beside, like through the closet, she never saw like the wintry
Mm.
forest that they built or any of that kind of stuff. So it was all her natural reaction when she walked through.
Yeah.
And I love
Cool.
those moments.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the kids and the adults were actually kind of scared of Wonka on the boat ride because
they thought he was really.
because they thought he was really losing his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonka,
I don't know though.
when he was yelling at Charlie, I guess the kid who plays Charlie, they never informed him that he was about to
Oh,
get
yeah.
scolded by Wonka. So that's a natural
Neither
reaction.
Neither did Grandpa.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people on set didn't know it was going to
They
be
didn't know he was
delivered
gonna
that
be
way.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Like the whole "Good day, sir." Like he added that. He ad-libbed a
that's
lot
my
of that.
favorite.
Mm.
That's my favorite line. You get nothing.
Yeah.
Well, how about The Office? There's a
lose.
quote. There's a fun fact about The Office that you told me when he
Oh,
goes
I
back to
thought
his
you-
office.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant the office. So the guy who wrote the book, he made the office with everything like broke, like cut in
Yeah.
half,
It's all halves. Yeah.
because he thought it would be dumb if he had this whole crazy factory, whatever, and then comes back to a normal office.
Yeah.
So just cut everything in half.
I love
I don't
that
know.
when he's reading the contract, he gets to the end of the line because half page it goes,
Half of it.
etc., etc.
Yeah.
Here at
Et cetera,
Thun 4,
et cetera.
etc., etc.
Uh,
You
I read
win
a-
nothing.
I read a
You
theory
get
that Wonka is Weasley's twin from Harry Potter, and the room where everything is cut in half is because he lost his brother.
I mean, I like it.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Well, I don't.
That's some good
They did
headcanon.
have-
I like that.
His
Harry
whole
Potter wasn't
shop
even
though
in
has the
it.
big top hat and everything.
Huh?
It's all magical world.
Oh,
I could
maybe.
see.
I don't know. Is it not
I could
even, like,
see
the
the
right time?
draw. I guess is
time
what I'm
frame,
So
saying.
I will
right?
I
Like-
will say I can't dispute it because I've never seen all Harry Potter. So maybe
Yeah.
there's more that I'm not getting. So
The time
It
frame
falls
doesn't
in-
really line up though, does it?
No, I don't think it does.
No,
I'm
it,
just
it
saying,
falls
like,
into the Snowpiercer
Yeah.
theory.
I
It's,
guess
it's
so,
head,
yeah.
head canon, a little bit head
Okay.
canon.
I got a couple more that I just remembered.
go ahead.
So the part when they hang up their coats, the hands as the hangers, they're all just like the carpenters that are working. They were just like stuck their hands through the holes. And then oh shoot, I just lost the other one.
I wonder if they ever do signings and it's just a picture of the wall
carpenters,
and they just
they
like
should.
each sign their hand.
Oh my gosh, that might be the biggest lie that Wonka says in the whole thing when they freak out about the hands clap.
Yeah.
He goes, little surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous. And then filled with juice, shrunken,
Yeah.
falling in the
Well,
river.
to
Straight up
be fair,
lied.
That's if you behaved. Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, obviously anything could be dangerous if
Yeah.
you use it in the wrong
Yeah.
way. No one said go stand on that garbage chute. Have a good day. Like
yeah, have a good day.
He
yeah.
even explicitly said that's for the eggs. It's the
Yeah.
educated egg dictator. Or whatever.
yeah, like
He was like concerned with the gum, like it's not fully tested. Don't.
That was what
Go
he
all
was
the way
just like,
through.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
No, please stop.
yeah.
There's
yeah.
another movie where a certain actor wanted to be a part of it, or he was almost
Oh, yeah,
rumored to
yeah.
be part of the movie, and it just didn't work out. So we talked about in our Beetlejuice episode that Michael Keaton was almost not Beetlejuice, and that they kind of wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to be Beetlejuice. Well, he also wanted to play the candy shop
Yeah.
owner,
Yeah.
and he was too famous.
They told him he was too famous.
but he also did a rendition of that song
Mhm.
that went number
Yeah.
one on the Billboard charts. So he did his own version of that song because he's like, well, fuck it. You want me to play it in the movie? I'll sing it
Yeah.
myself, and I'm Sammy Davis Jr. and I'm a
So,
badass,
It
and I'll
is-
make it sound better.
it's interesting though, because like in the play or in the musicals, the Candyman is actually Wonka
Huh.
disguised because you don't actually see. No one has seen Wonka in years, so he could obviously go outside
That's
and
cool.
run the candy shop and those kind of things. So I could see why. I mean, obviously they're two different aspects of
Yeah.
the thing, but I don't know. I think it's cool that he shows up in the play as the Candyman and kind of goes through that progression and kind of sees the kids and is able to like pick them out because he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the other theories, it's kind of a fact, or maybe it's kind of up in the air depending if it's true or not. Some of the actors said it was water with food coloring.
Mm.
Some other actors are saying it was actually chocolate, and
Or
that
it
the
was
milk
like a
and the cream
mixture.
spoiled, but they all agree that river stunk. It was not pleasant at all to work around. It was actually terrible. Another fun fact about the movie, speaking of the Candyman scene, the second time he comes out from behind the counter, he goes to lift the counter up and smokes this little girl in the face.
How do you not redo that scene? Like,
She kind of plays it off like she's like, oh,
no, I know,
Yeah.
but like it's plain as day that that's there. There's no way that you're sitting there at a monitor watching that scene happen and being like,
Maybe
that
they
girl
didn't have
got hit in
enough
the face.
time. Maybe
Yeah.
they were just
maybe
like,
not.
or the guy
let's
singing is
go.
like, we're keeping it. I fucking killed that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty sick scene. So by the end of it, they might be like, well, there was this one thing at the beginning. Is like, how big of a deal was it? Will anyone notice? And they'll be like, maybe no one will notice. Just
Yeah.
left it in.
Or they just think it adds to it.
I would hope they'd at least ask the kid, be like, "Are you all right?"
Well, I mean, they
Like-
kept the scene with her bloody knee. like,
Yeah.
they could have took that out, and I don't know,
I mean,
or changed her.
they could have
Type
patched her
or-
leg
yeah.
and left the pants, maybe. But like, the kid's literally getting bopped in the face. Like the stalking thing, I could see as an overlook, right? Because there's so much like with the chocolate river and all that kind of
jelly,
stuff.
so
Yeah,
the jam
it
on her
could
leg.
just be other things.
She's eating chocolate.
She's eating.
No,
she busted open.
yeah,
She's
but
eating red
She's
jam.
eating like chocolate, because she doesn't like chocolate. Like the actor does not like chocolate. I read that. She doesn't like chocolate. Or she ate the chocolate anyway because she had to.
In the Wonka boat, the Wonka boat was on a track in the chocolate river, but the actor playing the Oompa Loompa thought he was actually going to be needing to steer the ship.
He thought he was really steering.
For the sake of believability, Mel Stewart didn't tell him that it was on a track. So he's steering the shit out of that boat.
Yeah.
They kind of second playered him like a little brother, like, here, just hold the controller and think he's playing the video game. Yeah,
But it brings out a better performance at the end of the day, because it's like, I'm responsible for this. So
yeah.
Oh, and
that Oompa Loompa probably ran out and got a boat the next day. He's like, why isn't it going straight?
I was so good at this yesterday.
Mel Stewart also didn't put any cars or like any big things in the city around. He said because he wanted it to be like timeless. You could watch it anytime. Yeah. And he said something about the thing we were watching earlier. He said he wanted it to be more of an adult, not like really adult, but like adult. And then the kids would eventually get all of the jokes later, kind of thing. Oh, that was pretty cool.
A lot of the quotes in the movie too, where he quotes different poets or like writers, he gets all the quotes wrong. Like a lot of them are wrong. And then when he plays the musical note to open the first door, the mother goes and she says the composer's name, and it's not right either.
Rachmaninoff.
Yeah.
But it was actually Mozart.
It was Mozart. Yeah.
She also doesn't know where Lupaland is. So,
and she's a geography teacher.
Yeah.
What a terrible.
Terrible.
Wang Doodles finishes Knids.
He speaks like 7 different languages in the movie too, I think.
Yeah. So the golden ticket photo of it was Nazi henchman Martin Bormann. Yeah. So it was a legit Nazi. Yeah.
What did you guys find? You good?
I did have something.
Oh, this film was initially financed by Quaker Oats Company.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
They wanted to tie this movie into a new candy they were going to be releasing. So the movie was renamed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in order to promote this candy tie-in.
Oh yeah, I do.
When it was released, the company began marketing its own Wonka bars, but unfortunately, an error of the chocolate formula caused the bars to melt too easily. So while they were on the shelf waiting to hit the market, a lot of the bars just melted. And they were taking off the market. Now Nestle owns the Wonka candy company.
They got rid of,
and they don't make Wonka bars
anymore. Right? They did it for a stint of time. They had the Scrumdiddlyumptious bar. There was it was like a white chocolate and a dark chocolate on the bottom.
They have almost like a whoopie pie almost. That's what Charlie's eating. The first candy bar he buys.
But that never came out.
Yeah, and then the Gobstoppers are still a thing.
Yeah, the Gobstoppers, the Nerds Rope, Laffy Taffy.
I feel like it's funny that Nestle. You said Nestle owns it?
Nestle owns it, yes.
That
I guess because they do more like other candy now. Not chocolate.
It does suck though, especially like I'm surprised they didn't re-release it, especially with the 50th anniversary that happened in the past few years. Because like even
I totally would have thought Cadbury had it by the color scheme and all that stuff.
I mean I could see that too.
And they're like in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know where Nestle is, but
they released coffee creamer for Wonka.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm just surprised that
Jacob said, I cannot wait to rewatch the movie now knowing all of these new facts. There you go. Yeah. That's kind of what, so when we do movie reviews, this is kind of what we want to try to do. We want to try to do some facts, and even the horror movie one, we're not going to go scene by scene of what the movie is. We're going to kind of try to find these fun facts and go that route. So I have one more thing I want to kick to Anthony here for a second, but one more question I kind of want to pose to the group is, when you were growing up watching this movie, what drew you to it? What made Wonka a favorite movie of yours? Like what drew this to you, or what made you be a huge fan?
It's about candy.
I'll start with you, Mario.
It's insanely rewatchable. There's always something like new to see. These wide angle shots it takes. So like when you go through the initial part of the factory where you have the waterfall, there's so much to take in, right? So every time you rewatch that scene, you're looking at a different spot. When they do the inventing room, and you can see all the different things that go into it, and the little quips, little lines, and just the fantasy of it all. you know, because you don't really know. Like now I know exactly what's inside a factory because I work at a factory, but like, you know that your parents go off to work and that's about it. But to see like what goes on in that building over there and actually seeing this trip of a world, this fantasy land. And I mean, I'm someone who, when I go to sleep, I hit the hay, nothing, and then I wake up. So like I don't really dream much. So it's almost like a surreal experience taking in that dream world through the screen. It's kind of why I like The Wizard of Oz so much too.
I agree. I feel like if you're a Wizard of Oz fan, this falls in that category as a movie that
one and two. They're always competing to which one it's going to be.
Yeah, because of the universe it builds, and for me, I think it goes back to that CGI. Like, it was made with little to no CGI. It was a lot of set building. It was a lot of props. It made you believe you were in a world without making the world look unbelievable.
You should do the Wizard of Oz.
That'll definitely be on the list. Wizard of Oz.
Facts for that one.
Yeah.
I went down a rabbit hole one day.
One more fact for the movie: when they're in the world, the everything in that room was not edible. Fun fact. And also the cup that he drinks out of was 100% wax, and he had to keep chewing on a wax cup until
the scene was over.
And then he would spit it out. Yeah. What about you, Nikolai?
I think it falls under that like the fantasy aspect of it. But I want to say this was the first time I've ever seen Gene Wilder. And there's just something about him as a person and stuff that kind of like really drew me in, and because of that movie it has transitioned me to watch all of these other ones, like Young Frankenstein and stuff. And I don't know, I just really appreciated him. I mean, when I was born, obviously for everybody here, right, the movie was out for a while before we were even born. So it was later in life. Now I don't know if I saw the original first or if we saw Tim Burton first.
So real quick,
I think we saw the original first.
Yeah.
This was Gene Wilder's fifth movie he ever made. So he went from Warren Beatty, Fairway Done, to The Producers, to The Start of the Revolution Without Me, to the Quacker Stack Fortune, to Willy Wonka, then went on to do Blazing Saddles, Little Princess, Young Frankenstein, Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, Hanky Panky, See No Evil, Hear No Evil. So all of those more adult-themed stuff he did after Willy Wonka.
I know we moved past the fun facts, but actually every member of Monty Python expressed their interest in playing Willy Wonka, but they thought they didn't have enough worldwide appeal, and that's how Gene Wilder ended up with the role.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to know how popular he actually was. So was he a no-name at that point? Because it's only his fifth movie, or was it something he was already like a megastar, like, oh, we should get him?
I don't know. I mean, he's just a super fantastic.
Who's that?
Raymond said it's great listening and responding, but I need to get going. Have a great night. Thank you, Raymond. If you want, like I said, the replay will be up later. You can always go back and catch the end, and we're going to talk about the wrapping up and stuff. But thank you so much for hanging out. It really means the world to us. My microphone sounds like shit right now. I apologize. But yes, once again, thank you so much, Raymond. It really means the world. Jacob says, "Nice cat, Mario."
I thought it was a dog at first.
It's as big as a dog.
That's Fat Boy Klaus. He tends to bother me when I am podcasting. He likes to know what's going on.
Yeah. All right, you want to get into your list?
Yeah, there's one for the golden ticket. So Wonka set a date for the tickets to be redeemed. So he, like what Nikolai saying, like planting Slugworth at these places, he had to make sure that all the tickets were found before that date.
It was October 1st, right?
Yeah, it was October 1st. So why was there a date if he already had this plan in motion? Because
if he didn't already know.
Yeah, because if someone didn't find the ticket, that would screw up his whole plan of what he was going to do.
Yeah. It is. I wonder, like, if this was legit real life, if people were like, oh, they were found all over the world, and in the town a block away from his actual factory.
I mean, to be fair,
they're like,
you have to know that that's what was gonna, like, if Hershey did it and they didn't release a Hershey bar with a golden ticket in Hershey or somewhere in the surrounding areas of Hershey, I don't know. They just
imagine the scandal when it would break that he was, like, if it ever got out that he was planning the tickets, because you know that if it's a public company, Wonka's stock skyrocketed. Think about how much money he made personally from all the extra chocolate bars
Yeah.
people are buying that wouldn't normally buy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if you look at the movie too
Is this
closely.
constitutes fraud? Is this could possibly considered fraud?
If you look at every character of the movie, is just everyone bad except for Charlie? Does everyone just carry around these sins except for Charlie?
Charlie inherits a factory that then gets bought out for embezzlement by the
They just
German
get
government and shut down. And he goes back to being poor again.
They've been cooking the books the whole time and just waiting for some stooge, some innocent young boy to take the fall.
They're like, you pinned all your crimes on a child, you fucking psycho.
He won't go to jail though.
Yeah.
I think they made a
Hey
joke
guys,
about that in
I'm
Raw Chicken.
retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wonka's like, you'll never catch me, coppers. Clack, 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 clack. He flies away. All right. So your list here.
So the Wonka Vader, when you first see it, there's no top on the top of it. Like how you see like there's a cylinder and like a thing on
Yeah.
the top of it. It's not there. It's just a flat surface.
Okay.
And then when you see it cut to it actually shooting up, there's a string attached, pulling it up and doing that. It's like kind of weird seeing that, not noticing that. And there was also that even though it was in like it was supposed to be, I guess, English.
German. It was in Germany.
Because they had German advertisements, but it was also English, like I guess UK
Yeah.
street signs.
Interesting.
So they
It was
mixed
filmed
up
in
the
Germany,
signs.
but the setting I think was supposed to be
England, yeah.
England.
Yeah, so I think they forgot to cover up the German
Well,
ads. with,
That
like-
part confuses me then too, because in like Charlie's Town, for instance, everyone speaks with an American accent except the teacher.
Yeah.
I love the teacher.
Yeah.
You can't just do two.
Yeah. 200? Got it. No,
Yeah.
2? You're a math teacher. You should
That
be able
one's
to
for
yeah.
very big warts.
And how about if like that legit happened in real life where a kid's like, I got the last ticket after everyone's reading the newspaper? That kid would have gotten mugged and beaten the fuck up.
He almost did.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, Charlie, run, Charlie,
Yeah.
get out of here. Run for your life. And the lady sets him up like, he's got him. She grabs him by the arm and throws him into a crowd of people. Yeah, Charlie's dead.
What else?
The other one that I found was that during the spooky boat ride, you notice how like no one's hair is flowing, that they're going through this very fast tunnel. I guess the director and the guy who was supposed to operate it got into a fight, and he didn't activate the mechanical stuff to make the wind actually blow.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
So it was just a standstill while they were pushing it.
Yeah. And the guy, one of the director's friends, was the guy who was the only one who would be allowed to be filmed, get a bug going across his
Oh,
face.
yeah.
So
And
that's
the
one of the
director's kids were in the
In the school scene. Yeah.
Yeah, well, his daughter wanted to be in it, and he said, "No, you're not actor material. I don't think you can
Yeah. His
do
two
it."
kids wanted to be in the movie and
And
he
the
wouldn't let
daughter,
them.
no,
And
the
then-
daughter, he told her like no, and then they needed a kid to say, "What I bought 100 bars or something like that in the classroom." And he's like, I think you could do that. And then the boy is the one who comes into the classroom saying that Wonka's doing opening the
Mhm.
factory or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, class is canceled.
Oh no, it's
It's uncanceled.
And also, the two kids that were the director, the girl who says, I bought 100, and the kid who interrupted class, are the kids burping in
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah, they do the.
They were
burps.
the ones who they did the audio of them burping.
well. I'm glad.
So if you
I
go
was
back
not
and
the
listen
only
to,
one who
if
Yeah.
you listen to
burped.
Grandpa Joe's
They
burps,
sound like kid.
they're
burps.
kid burps.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
We were watching the
Yeah, so we
Special.
actually
Bonus
own
stuff,
the
yeah.
we own the 10-year everlasting
40
fun
40th.
year.
That
Sorry,
was-
yeah, it's a lot longer
holy
than 10.
cow, 10 years ago
Collection,
already.
and it comes with the movie. It comes with a book. It comes with a golden ticket.
Yeah.
It also comes with
The contract, I think.
the
Bunch of
contract.
stuff. There was like a
Yes.
digital.
So the
something, like
contract for that
pencil
use-
box.
Yeah, a pencil box.
This
with
is my
the
this is
erasers
my
and stuff.
favorite part. So this is actually the letter they wrote to Mel Brooks to Mel about the
Mel Stewart.
Mel Stewart. So this is a letter, a handwritten letter photocopied from Gene Wilder to Mel about the costume and that his that he won't do the scene
see.
without that whole thing. So they took the actual photocopied note of Gene Wilder to the director. There's a bunch of there's some scenes in here from the movie that are photocopied, like a table reading scenes.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's really cool because there were what they made 100,000 of these.
Yeah, 100,000.
And they were at Chiller in like 2013.
The movie is a 3-disc set, and it when you fold it all up, it is a Wonka bar.
That's
And
amazing.
then it comes with a Wonka bar pencil holder, and then inside is just pencils that we still have never opened, and a chocolate eraser.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
It's a really cool set.
I want that so badly.
I bought, so mine is actually numbered 2,809 out of 100,000.
And I'm 29, almost 30,000.
But yours is actually autographed by a lot of the kids from the
by
movie.
4 of the 5.
And
I'm not-
started something.
So it hurts me because they were at, all 5 of them were at this convention in Parsippany, New Jersey. I think it was like 2013, and I got the box set and everything. And I was like, I'm gonna get this signed. Well, they were there all weekend, and I went on Saturday, and the actress that plays Violet left after Friday because she had a lip infection, and then I never saw her again,
From
and then
chewing
she
gum.
passed away. So my box set will always just have the 4 autographs on it. But they were all super nice. If you go to at least Chiller, he used to do this anyway. You'll see Paris, who played Mike TV, not only at the convention as a guest, but sometimes he runs the photo ops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's interesting to kind of get to see him in both lights
Yeah.
of things, and he was a really cool
You're like,
guy.
you look really familiar. Like,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, kid.
So it's funny because we were waiting in line for a photo op, and somebody like was looking at him really hard, and he's like, "Yes, I was Mike TV." Like he knew that like they wanted
Yeah.
to say something to him, and he's like, because this was when he was working the photo op side of things.
Real quick on that, how many takes did it take that fucking dad again?
20.
20 takes for that dad to say, you have to wait till you're 12, kid.
I think
Took him 20 takes to take
Not
that
to
line.
your 12, son.
Not to your 12, son.
Listen, I understand that because like I teach my acting class when they have me fill in that the slate is your hardest part of your auditions and stuff, and all the slate really is your name, who you're represented by, maybe who you're auditioning for
Yeah.
and stuff, and you overthink it. Like you would not think that would be the hard part, and you walk up, you're ready to do your thing, and they're like, all right, do your slate, and they're like, my name is, yeah, that's it, and then can I go back? Like for whatever reason with self-tapes, that's the part that gets screwed up the most.
Yeah.
They said him and the kid, Mikey, like to hear themselves talk.
Yeah.
So your last little bit here you have.
The parodies or
Times that
different
Wonka
shows.
has appeared, Wonka spoofs or Wonka themed has appeared in other television programs.
So I want to jump in on one, just because
Which
it's
one?
one of my favorite ones. Primus did an entire album of Primus and the
jeez.
Chocolate Factory
I forgot about that.
that I have, and they recorded the whole album with all the songs, Don't Blow My songs and everything.
Oh.
It's a real treat. So if you're a fan of Primus, it's a little weird. It's kind of like the boat ride, but like the whole time.
Yeah.
The first one I'm going to talk about, and Nick, you should actually know this one, so you should be able to jump in on this one.
Sure.
It is from Drake and Josh when they make a bet where Josh can't play video games and Drake can't eat junk food. Josh decides to help further his lead in the bet by turning their whole room into a Willy Wonka style junk food paradise.
Yeah, where it's
With
like the
edible
chocolate room.
cups. He literally got a kid pool and put it in the room and filled it all with chocolate.
Mm.
He had like cereal hanging from the ceiling with like different like gummy things on it.
That's funny.
And it's funny too because in that Drake goes without like candy and sugar and stuff so bad that like he has to go to the hospital because he's breaking out in all these rashes. And they're like,
geez.
because he's so used to having it in his system and he completely cut it out, his body reacted horribly to it. So he was like, you have to eat.
That's funny.
Okay.
What else?
Let's see some of the other ones. Let's see. They were saying that 70s show with Fez because he didn't speak English very well, and he learned it from other than his friends. He learned it from learning English through movies. So, and he's very obsessed with candy. So I'm assuming like the theory is that Fez watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory to learn English, and that's why he's so obsessed with like going like to go like trick or treat and stuff. And he gets like so pissed off at like the people. It's like, where's my candy, you son of a bitch? Like, because they give him like apples and like dental floss. He gets so annoyed with that, and he dresses up as like the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Family Guy has done it a couple times where instead of it being a chocolate factory, it was the Pawtucket Brewery.
Yes. Well, Willy Wonka does. Yeah. I think Willy, and he's dressed like Willy Wonka too. Yeah, in the Family Guy episode.
Futurama did it at one point.
Yes, they did.
The slug.
Mhm.
Yep.
They did it in Hey Arnold, which I did not know that.
Really?
Yep.
I don't remember that either.
I don't really remember that.
South Park.
Yep, South Park. They did
South Park does everything.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
it. The Simpsons was one.
Simpsons
I
do
just
everything.
read that in the
Yeah.
book.
They
Tony-
probably did it before Wonka even existed as a book, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is
They nailed it. Yeah. Malcolm in the Middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then my this one we'll take this one because we're huge fans. The Office does an episode where Michael Scott takes 5 magical golden tickets and he scatters them around the warehouse, and every single person who gets one gets, what is it, 20
It's like 20%.
20 or 30% off their order.
It's like 15 or 20% or something.
Yeah.
their
And-
order." What do you mean?
Of like if their order of paper.
order.
So because the hospital orders a lot of paper, their entire pallet and skid was in staging
He put them all in like
the
close
same.
vicinity of each other.
He put them all in
Oh
the same
my
company,
gosh.
so they
already
were.
staged to go.
And then Jim goes, "Does it say one per customer?" Does not. So he had to give hundreds of thousands of dollars away to free to their biggest paper supplier, which is like 90% or like 50% of their company's revenue of the year.
yeah.
And then he
gosh.
goes to blame it all on Dwight, and it was dressed up as Willy Wonka and everything. And then when Dwight finally agrees to do it, the boss comes in and says they love the idea so much they doubled their order of paper, and they want to. So then Michael is trying to then reclaim
The idea.
that it was
He
his
tried to
idea.
he tried to get Dwight to take the blame, and then Dwight's like, "No, absolutely not." And then the boss comes in and says, "He's like, oh yeah, that was me."
And,
Like-
and well, before
like
he even
Dwight
says
is
like
like,
it
"Yeah,
was
I
his
did it."
idea, he's like, Jim's egging it on, saying like, I remember that being Dwight's idea. He came in with a costume and everything. Michael's never even seen the movie, and Michael's just seething. He can't. Yeah. There's a meme if you look up The Office where it's Michael going, "Thank you," right? That's from that episode where they're like, he only did it and he wanted me to take the fall so I didn't get in trouble. So pretty much like outing him, and he goes, "Thank you. That
Yeah.
was my idea." You know what I mean? Like, so he didn't care about the repercussions of him trying to get an employee fired.
Yeah.
He just wanted the credit that the Willy Wonka thing was a good idea.
Okay.
It's a
Toxic
very, very
management.
yes,
Yeah.
very good episode of The Office. I definitely recommend.
Still have
And
never
it's
seen
called The
What a
Golden Ticket.
shame.
I think there's even a Funko Pop of
Michael as
Michael
Yeah.
Scott as the Willy Wonka for the paper company.
Did you
Yeah.
have any more facts?
No, I think that was it for mine.
So, do you guys want to brainstorm now? We don't have to lock in anything, but do you have any ideas of what we want to talk about next week or next episode in 2 weeks?
Pepsi Nitro.
Well, we will actually be doing Pepsi Nitro there, but we do have 2 sodas.
Wizard of Oz.
We have 2. You want to do Wizard of Oz next?
It's a good one.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
I know,
I'm good with
lots of
Wizard of
facts.
Oz.
All right, we'll do Wizard of Oz. So we do have to take. We're gonna do a 2 soda review real quick. So we have 2 sodas to crack open. They are Jones sodas.
2 sodas.
It's Jones
It's the Mike Tyson
Mike Tyson.
crossover
Tyson's
Jones.
Punch and
and
Tiger's Blood.
Yeah.
Tiger's blood.
No,
Ti-
it just twists. It just twists.
Lame.
And I'm gonna dent them, and I can't send them in.
They're not that.
They're not dented. No. Oh,
All right.
so they posted on their website one
Oh,
of
no.
their the
Oh,
inside
no.
of their caps, and it said "Don't be a Richard." So I really want to find it.
Don't be a Richard. All right, so the first one, trying real quick.
Hold on.
While we're pouring these and trying them, this one tastes very orangey. But
Well,
Mario, why
it's
don't you
orange.
plug your podcast and tell us
Get
what
back.
people can expect with Welcome Back.
Oh yeah.
Shoot.
The better half of Welcome Back. Chris isn't here today because he hates Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
What?
Yeah, he said it explicitly.
He also doesn't like
to me.
Ghostbusters.
I mean,
Well,
I could kind of see.
I don't want to hear
slightly-
that. Don't say that.
I
You'll be
mean-
kicked off the show.
Listen, Afterlife
don't
was
I
really
have
the
a
thing for
glass?
me.
The original. I gave 4 of them.
no, you didn't.
But
You just took my
you can
glass.
expect from Welcome Back maybe once every 2 weeks a banter style episode. But basically, what it is us deep diving our lives, just going through all of it, deconstructing every trauma we've experienced, and really trying our best to explore the male friendship and what masculinity means today. It's a lot of fun. It comes out roughly every 2 weeks. You can find us online at Welcome Back Wire everywhere. And yeah, we'd I love being on interviews with everyday people. We had a crossover episode with Truth Behind Illusion before. And it's a great time over there. If you enjoy the variety that takes place on the IWP network, we'd love to have you check out our branch of that beautiful tree.
There's not a lot of podcasts that I have listened to since the beginning, and I listen to as soon as they drop. Welcome Back is that podcast for me. Welcome Back and Brian's show Murder My Dude are the two podcasts I listen to every episode of. I think they do a great job. Even if they weren't my friends, I would enjoy their podcast. Personally, I've told Mario this in the past where I've never physically met Mario. We only really know each other through group chats or like just texting each other. But listening to that podcast, I almost feel like I'm part of their friendship because like you really bond with them over their stories. And it's very, very good. I think they do a fantastic job. And I think it's definitely a podcast to check out. Another fun thing they do is they'll do they did a fun casting of how they would do a presidential cabinet, like who would be in charge of the environmental department, who will be in charge of this department, and they use pop culture references. Another big thing they do is when they rank something. So we made a joke during the show that this song is Diablo or this one's Fire. They rank everything in the Taco Bell hot sauce packets. So starting off with Veer Day to Diablo. So if something's very, very good, it's Diablo. If something's not very good.
So that makes so much more sense now.
Yes.
Because Diablo has been tossed around a lot tonight. And I'm like, what?
All right.
What would you guys rate these before you give the Not Cool in High School rating? You want to give it the Taco Bell sauce rating? What do you think about these sodas you're drinking?
All right.
So
Tyson's
they're not
Punch-
sodas. They are dietary supplements
Oh.
by
Oh.
Jones Soda.
Okay.
That's why I'm so healthy right now.
Yeah. So they
I
kind of
don't like it.
They kind of taste like I was gonna say they taste like a diet soda almost
Okay.
Gross.
of
It's
these,
like
and
Gross.
then
Pour it out.
juice. It's like a juice with no carbonation.
yeah.
No, there's like I feel like there's extra carbonation because I feel like that kicked me before the flavor.
For those audio only listeners, though, each bottle does have Mike Tyson on it, with some funny.
They don't even
photos.
tell you what the
The
any of the
Tyson's
flavors.
Punch is
This
him
one has
kissing,
mushroom,
his kissing a
main
dove.
mushroom extract. Let me see that one.
Ew.
We will take photos and put them on our Instagram and social media. The first one, Tyson's Punch, is almost like an orange cream
They both
soda.
do.
Very good. I
I
don't
can see
really
it.
like orange flavored things, but it's good.
It's very like
They're diet
carbonated.
sodas?
They're kind of diety tasting. Yeah.
If I wanted a soda to make me lighter, I would have stuck with fizzy lifting drinks.
So it kind of has that like, what's that? Like seltzer water? Is that the one that's like super carbonated?
Kind of. I could
Kind
see
of tastes
that.
like
Now,
TV
guess so.
static.
Yeah. It's like,
that's what this reminds me of because it like hits you
Yeah.
before
So
the flavor.
then the other flavor is Tiger's Blood. Now, Tiger's Blood is an actual flavor that is popular nowadays. I didn't know this.
Is it?
oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
What
either.
is it?
Tiger's Blood is almost like a strawberry watermelon
That's what I was gonna
Mhm.
say. It tasted like
peach.
a mix
almost.
between like cherry and watermelon Jolly Ranchers, and then I feel like there's a hint of like coconut. or
I
something.
believe Tiger's Blood, if someone can
it
Google
doesn't
it,
tell you.
I
anything.
believe it's strawberry, watermelon, and maybe peach.
Okay.
So there is a at Wawa when you go to their Slurpee machines. So after every wrestling show, PPW, we go to the Wawa down the street, and I get the biggest cup I can get of Tiger's Blood, and it's like an icy drink. It's so good, but it tastes exactly like this.
Huh.
okay.
watermelon, strawberry, and coconut. I told
Coconut.
you there was coconut.
No,
I can taste
Interesting.
it.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's really good. I think both these are very delicious. I would if depending on the price point, I would buy more of those.
So they are $20 for a 4-pack, and you get
They are
two
too much
of
money, though.
each flavor.
Damn you, Mike
Jeez.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
They
love
should have
them.
saved Tiger's Blood though for Charlie Sheen crossover, but that's
Ooh, no,
With the whole
oof.
AIDS thing, that's kind of scary.
Oof.
what?
Charlie Sheen has AIDS,
Okay.
and his
What does that have to do with?
Yeah, who wants his blood?
I have Tiger's blood. So if you're drinking Charlie Sheen's Tiger Blood, you're drinking AIDS soda.
Oh my
Ew.
gosh.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's not a good thing for their promotion, but I don't know.
I don't know why you would shell out those bucks when you could easily just get yourself a nice 2-liter of cherry RC cola for only 99 cents.
Wait. They make cherry RC cola.
Oh,
That's news to
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, the Royal Crown soda.
There used to be a place on the street from my house that used to have RC cola. I'd buy it all the time. I never knew they made a cherry, so I have to find that now. And then
I
we
didn't
also
love these sodas very much.
I wasn't a big fan of these ones. No.
No, I don't
I
like
would
the
say
extra carbonation that's in it.
Tiger's
Whatever.
Blood was my least favorite. I like the other one.
really
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that the flavor was better.
Tiago. Tiger's Blood is Diablo for me, and Tyson's Punch is
Verde.
mild.
Wait, which one's Verde is like?
Verde's the
Hot.
bottom. Verde,
Thought mild was
mild,
the bottom.
hot.
Get out.
Diablo. And then we're also eating M&Ms. It is the
Honey Graham.
honey graham ones. They're good. They're mild as well.
I thought mild was the bottom.
No, Verde's under.
Oh, I never saw
It's
that
kind
one.
of like this almost like special low category where it's like off. Chris always argues with me about if Verde's the bottom or if it's just like this separate category. It's almost like breakfast sauce in a way.
Yeah.
Mm.
But all right, Nikolai, what do you got to plug?
Fry Rags tomorrow.
Oh,
Killer
yeah.
Clowns from Outer Space. You're getting your pint glass and you're getting the
Mhm.
cotton candy tie-dye shirt. Both look phenomenal. I think there's like another shirt or two
You have to look white.
getting released for Killer Clowns tomorrow as well. But I'm definitely gonna get my tie-dye one because those sell up super fast. And I did order the banner for the Disney episode, so as soon as that comes, we're gonna start filming. the
Cool.
Disney process.
I definitely would love to come and join an episode, but I want you guys to find your flow first
Yeah.
before you start bringing guests and stuff on. But very
Oh,
excited for
cotton
that.
candy one looks really good.
I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I don't have many tie-dye shirts. I would like one.
That's really cool. The other one's a white one
Let me see.
with
I like the tie-dye one. Anthony, what do you got to plug?
With Rudy on it.
yeah.
Today's plug is for Hasbro Pulse. They decided to do a special Power Ranger event today. They decided to reveal some cool new stuff that's coming up, some like action figures. But the thing that I want to talk about today is,
Is there a glitch?
they had a glitch that they are releasing the Red Ranger Power Sword with effects and like lights on it, and it actually plays the theme song in the sword. They want like $220 for it.
You shelling it out?
I'm sticking through it, even if
He's,
it doesn't.
He's paying $24.
There was a glitch that said it was $24.99. I'm like, okay, pre-order.
And then they changed it.
They
after
changed
he
it, and they
went
they
through.
sent me an email before we got here saying, "Oh, we canceled your order."
So wait,
But
do you not
I-
get it now?
I reordered it though.
Oh, because I thought you said it sold out. That's why I was like, what?
No, it sold out, but they had to reissue the
The
pre-order.
people that
Yeah.
got it for the 24.
So
Okay.
you
fair.
were able to pre-order it, but you had to pay the full price.
That's
but it doesn't actually charge until it actually ships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys figure out what you're gonna do for how you're doing the Disney? Are
They said they're gonna start at the beginning.
you start at the beginning?
Yeah,
I think
unless
that's
like
cool.
a brand new Disney movie comes out and we're like, let's talk about it because it's relevant.
Are you doing
Um,
bi-weekly, once a month?
I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how much work goes into doing a non-live to the level we want.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Snow
with
White's
it.
first, right?
Yeah, Snow White. Which
Mhm.
is it's for 85 years.
Yeah.
So which is
Uh,
crazy.
Me and Heidi I think we've landed on our first movie.
We have.
I thought we did. I thought we were gonna do Evil Dead for our first movie.
Oh,
Which
okay.
one?
The first one. Evil
Which
Dead
one?
one.
Let's
Which
do all of
one?
them.
Evil Dead
original.
1 or 2?
Original.
Let's do all of them.
We're not doing every movie in one shot. Like, oh, all right. Well, that knocks out 4 episodes.
You just
No, I
burn
had
through all
an
your
idea.
content.
I had an idea to just do like an alphabet and then every time pick one with that letter, but somebody else didn't like my idea.
Or we wanted to pull up a list where it says like the top 100 horror movies you must watch before you die. Like
I did
something
find
like
a list, but some of them were like, they shouldn't be on the list.
Because
Are there 100 good horror films?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I'll have to follow the series then.
Yeah. So we are going to start off with so we want to do ones that are like commonly people like know, like some major like.
That's where we weren't sure if we should start off with like a mainstream one or
Because if we start off
not.
with like one that's people are like, I'm not fucking listening
Yeah,
to a
or
podcast
like, I've never
about that.
heard of
I've never
that.
heard of that movie. So we want to give people the opportunities to listen to some podcasts on some movies they have seen or that could
Mhm.
easily be watched.
Yeah.
And then we kind of want to dive into like some Shudder movies. So we may watch a movie but not review it. Be like, hey, here's our recommendation this week. We watched this on Shudder. We are going to do an episode in the future of it, but like kind of do that as well. And then we have a bunch of friends who are really into those obscure B-rated indie, like we want to do indie films and
like
stuff
the
like
stuff.
like the stuff, but because I think like those ones, if we reach out to like someone who made that independent film that still was really good,
Yeah.
we could possibly have them on and kind of tap into that market, because I think that low budget indie niche, like the ones that people don't really talk about as much, are like that's a market that people really like in the horror community.
Yeah.
So we want to mix that up, and we do have Zach and then our friend oh my god, I'm having a brain fart, I'm so sorry.
Bill?
Huh?
Bill?
Wants to join, and he wants to join the artist Jivan. Why am I having a brain fart?
Charles.
Charlie Charles. So Chuck. So he's gonna come on. We have so many friends who are really into horror, so we have a lot of cool people who are gonna swing in and do guest appearances on that. But I'm
excited because I feel like when I was a kid, I feel like people didn't really care about horror. Horror wasn't talked about. I was talking to someone else the other day because I don't remember that many horror movies being in the theater when I was younger. It was always all the comedy and action. But they were like, "No, I saw horror all the time," and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't."
And then we are going to also be doing the Star Wars episodes with me and Andy, and that's going to have some people come on. Rich is going to come on, and a bunch of people who are Star Wars fans. I think we're gonna hold off for the first episode of that the week of May the 4th. So we'll drop the first episode around the week of May the 4th because we're also doing a special Star Wars version of Bang and Beers podcast. So we're going to release the Star Wars episode of Bang and Beers podcast. We're actually going to go find Star Wars beers and try to drink them on the show and talk Star Wars, and then lean into the very first episode where we watch episode 1, The Phantom. I think it's called The Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah, Phantom Menace.
Yes,
episode 1.
Because we're watching those in chronological order.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really fun. If you are interested in supporting those shows, merchandise is out. If you want to buy a banner, if you want to buy a t-shirt, a hoodie, the spoof logos are out right now. You can go buy the horror one, the Star Wars one, or the Disney one, as well as our other great merchandise that is on our merch page. So that's going to do it. The IWEP Network. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys next time. Anything in closing, Mario?
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Actually, I do have one thing I want to close out with here. I think I lost it.
At PW Planting on Instagram, patrickplanting.com. It's one of our biggest sponsors on Welcome Back. I always like to shout them out. It's a small little farm in Knoxon, PA.
Well, listen, guys, don't forget about what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he ever wanted. He lived happily ever after. We'll see you guys next time. We'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.